Box as soon as you can.
Oh guys, I don't know what to say. Any chances of us, however slim they were, of us winning the championship this season, well, they've gone now. We're not going to do it. This was possibly a small spark for us to get back into this fight, because we were on course for a really good result with Gasly further down the order. We could even have been challenging for the win, but then I just completely had the door closed in on me, and there was nothing I could do about that one, I'm afraid, which is a big shame. But whenever we've been in winning positions, we've quite often had lots of bad luck this season. That's mainly been the story of our season. So I thought, you know what, let's just watch the rest of the Grand Prix, because there's loads of new realistic graphics that have come to this update with the safety car, and I'll do a bit of commentary because that makes it more like real life for a change. And in the comments, let me know at the end of the video if you prefer this, and maybe from next season I'll start commentating these episodes instead, if you would rather. So the safety car has come out. This is the very first time, even in any other races I've done, that I've seen the safety car in this game. Charles Leclerc got a free pit stop, as did Pierre Gasly, who started 6th. So they are now in net position, and there it is, the safety car in Monoposto with Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen 1 and 2 in the Austrian Grand Prix. We are on lap 7, so there are still 10 laps to go of this Grand Prix, and you can see on the mini-map that there's still quite a big train just coming up towards turn 3, whereas the safety car is already kind of going through sort of turn 5, 6, so it could potentially be quite a long time until the train forms up. So I'm estimating I'm going to be under safety car for probably at least 2 or 3 laps, as we just focus back in on Lando Norris, the former race leader here at the Austrian Grand Prix, still in possession of the fastest lap of the race. However, he's down in P13 at Red Bull's home circuit. He'll be desperate to see if he can try and gain some of these positions back. I honestly don't know quite what happened to Norris. He suddenly slowed down, boxed in Russell and Verstappen, and then I managed to get in the mix and get between them both, as we now see a lapped cars overtake message. Nobody has been lapped yet, but that's still really fantastic that we've got this in the game. As we now skip, Logan Sargent seems to be bugged. He's just completely miles off the back of the train as the safety car is ending, and we now look to the front of the race as the safety car pulls into the pit lane. It's Charles Leclerc versus Max Verstappen to light it up as we get ready to go racing again at the end of lap number 8 of the Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc puts his foot on the accelerator, and we are back underway at the Red Bull Ring, and Verstappen's been caught napping. You can see Leclerc's already building a gap over 7/10 of a second by the time we get to the first corner. The Dutch driver won't be able to open DRS yet, as notice how Sargent pulled into the pit lane. I think he had damage, clearly, if it was bugged, as now Norris goes for a very bold move on the inside of Théo Pourchaire up the inside of turn 9, and the Red Bull driver gets it done. As we see George Russell now, he's following an Alfa Romeo Penske. This is Lance Stroll, who's in very lofty heights in P4. The Canadian driver Russell, though, with DRS. As we look to the front of the field, and Verstappen and Leclerc are going wheel to wheel. They've managed to gap Pierre Gasly. Gasly's 1.6 seconds behind, so it could well just be these two going for the win today. Verstappen not quite close enough to make a move though, as now he is on lap number 12. Max Verstappen with DRS takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. That is huge for the championship. Charles Leclerc is behind at the detection point. He's going to get the DRS down towards turn 4. The Monegasque driver needs to get this overtake done to make some further inroads on Pierre Gasly. As it stands, he would only be gaining 3 points, but Charles Leclerc to the inside of turn 4. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has. This is a fantastic battle, and the Ferrari retakes the lead at the Red Bull Ring, and Verstappen has to settle for second place on the road once again, as at the end of the lap they're both coming into the pit lane at the same time. So out come the Ferrari pit crew, out come the Red Bull pit crew. What tyres will be going on their car? It looks like mediums for Max Verstappen, it looks like mediums for Charles Leclerc. Verstappen has jumped Leclerc in the pit lane though. Fantastic work from the Red Bull boys, and Max Verstappen has actually come out ahead. So that means Max Verstappen is now the net race leader of this Grand Prix once again. Gasly and Russell also coming into the lane. It looks like George Russell's jumped Pierre Gasly, as Jehan Deruvila has to stack behind his teammate Mick Schumacher down in the Haas garage. Speaking of whom, he's catching up to a battle between Dennis Hauger and Jake Hughes, and we're seeing the Norwegian going up the inside there into turn 4. The McLaren driver struggled this weekend even after taking a penalty, although he's managed to get himself back up into 9th here, although it looks like the Haas driver's got round him as well. Yes, he has. So Jake Hughes, look at the wear on those medium tyres. To be fair to him, must be really struggling, as now he cuts onto lap 16. Max Verstappen has been passed again by Charles Leclerc. I missed that, I'm afraid, as now Verstappen has got the DRS as they go through the kink through turn 2, up the hill towards turn 3. We ride on board with Charles Leclerc, the defending world champion. Max Verstappen goes up the inside of turn 3, and he takes the lead again and gets DRS for good measure. So Verstappen, a really excellent tactical overtake, as he waited to get the DRS before he made the dive bomb. You can see the detection point just before the apex there at turn 3, and now it's the final lap of the race, and Charles Leclerc's the man doing the chasing. You can see the rear wing flap is open on the Ferrari, while Norris is going fastest in the first sector. Is Leclerc close enough? No, he isn't quite. So Max Verstappen is half a lap away from just his second victory of the season. He's not won since Saudi Arabia back in round 2. He's always been there or thereabouts. As he comes out of the final corner, Max Verstappen is going to announce himself in this championship fight by winning the Austrian Grand Prix, and Max Verstappen takes his second win of 2025. Oh, that is a really clinical victory. He leads home Charles Leclerc by merely tenths of a second, and he's now only 16 points off championship leader Pierre Gasly. So you can safely say the Dutch driver has arrived in this title fight.
Nice. That was good. That was good. Okay. Wow, that was close. Wow. Unbelievable. Well done, Max. Great job.
So there we have it. That was the Austrian Grand Prix. Leclerc just 3.5 tenths behind. George Russell completes the podium in 3rd, but can Lando Norris get in front of Pierre Gasly over the line? No, not quite. Gasly holds on by a tenth, but Norris takes the fastest lap. Stroll is P6. Esteban Ocon is going to get a huge 6 points for Alpine, almost doubling their entire points tally for the whole season. Pourchaire and Schumacher 8th and 9th, and Jehan Deruvila gets the final point, just holding off Dennis Hauger. Carlos Sainz cannot recover to the points after taking a penalty. He'll be disappointed with that. Then comes Tsunoda, Albon, Zhou, Drogovic, Alonso, Jake Hughes and Logan Sargent, and myself, of course, out of the race. So there you go. That's been it for today's video. If you enjoyed the new format, let me know. If you want to see it again, I can do. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.